we're starting a little bit early. Because frankly, I was just sitting here, not really doing much of anything, just waiting for the clock to take over. So I might as well start a little bit early. I'll see if people start joining a tad bit later than I started. Let's take a quick look at the current state of things before we start this last part of this series. Also, I'm hella tired, so I hope there's going to be some good banter and riffing and stuff going on, because otherwise this is going to be a real disappointing stream. Okay, so Scrap now has Vice Grip, Charge Beam, Gear Grind and Bind. That is all I needed to be reminded of. Also, I've never actually noticed this before. I literally just noticed this now, but I think that's a new thing in Generation 5, and I don't know if this is in any of the new games. But do you see like little zigzag on the team preview? That shows you the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in case people were confused with like the left column being 1, 2 and 3 and then 4, 5 and 6 on the right, which is a totally valid thing to assume. They made this little zigzag line. I actually kind of appreciate that, even though I don't need it. I appreciate the effort that they put in. And I am sure somebody like got saved because of it somehow. Probably not. It's probably not that relevant, is it? I think we... Oh, rifle. But we start with a rifle. This is gonna go well. I had a pretty nice day today, actually. I finished a video at it at about 1. And ever since then, I've just been like doing things on my own. I've been recording some footage, downloading some old videos for a video that I'm working on, which it's gonna be an interesting one. Let's just say that it's. I am fairly happy with the script of the video. I'm actually pretty happy with the script of the video. It's going to involve a lot more animation work than any of my usual videos, so that is a bit scary because it's a lot of work. It's not like difficult stuff by any means. It's just more work than it usually would be. I've got like 6 or 7 weeks to finish this video. If need be, I would have a month longer, maybe, because I still have that one retrospective for Yu-Gi-Oh in the backup. I've had that there for 3 months, and every time it didn't end up being necessary. So I've got quite a lot of time to like do a little bit of animation stuff for that. And I'm still debating. I'm thinking there is a very big opportunity to fall asleep. Also, why are you not using fire type moves on me? Now you are. Okay. There's a very big opportunity for me to do something very clickbaity with the thumbnail. Not the title, but with the thumbnail. I talked about this in today's members video as well. But I'm going to quickly recap it here. Please wake up. Okay. This is going to be an issue, isn't it? Fucking fire types. I probably picked the wrong starter, didn't I? Because I picked... What did I pick? I picked Topic, thinking there's no way that you're going to... Either of the rivals are going to pick Topic that way. But because of that... Oh, that doesn't make any sense either. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because of that, my rival has a Oshawott. And as a result of that, its monkey is the fire type monkey. Had I picked Oshawott, my rival would have had Snivy and a water type. Right? He just gets the same type monkey that you did starter. That would have been a little less threatening. And then Bianca would have had Topic, granted. Which would have been slightly... I'm going to Charge Beam. Just to get the special attack increase from it. Because I might need it against... whatever the monkey's name is. So I've been thinking about, like, I have an opportunity to... God damn it. To do some, like, real hardcore clickbait thumbnail. And I'm kind of on the fence about it. I really kind of want to do it, but at the same time I kind of don't want to do it because it's a very, like, trigger-happy ID I have. Like, the ID behind the clickbait I have in my head. It's not good. Is mostly getting people angry when they see the thumbnail, and as a result of that, clicking on it. That is pretty much the strategy going on there. And I do think that would be effective. It's just, do you want to have a lot of angry people on your video? To a certain extent, maybe I do, because angry people will also maybe comment, and it's not like likes and dislikes are actually, you have D1. That is actually correct, never mind. It's not like dislikes actually like negatively impact a video's performance all that much. Likes and dislikes are more so, like, they're both interaction, first and foremost, but they're mostly an indication for the viewer to see, is this video relevant or not. And as such, I guess it could hurt your retention time, but it's probably not that relevant. So if I get a bit more dislikes on it because of that, that wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't know. I'm still not decided. I still have to, like, actually make the video. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to use Bind all that much. So I'm going to focus on making the actual video itself first, and then we can, yeah, not use Torment again, can we? Or use Charge Beam again because of Torment. And then I'll later on decide whether or not I actually end up going the clickbait route, or I just make a different thumbnail. I'm not entirely decided on it yet. Tell me. Okay, don't tell me. I was gonna say, does Gear Grind, like, work against flying types? I mean, it works, but is it super effective or not very effective? I think it's, like, neutral, right? I'm fairly certain it's neutral. Anyway, now we get into a triple battle, which I thought we were going to get into in a moment ago, but we do this first. We beat Sharon, so it's not that big of a deal. I have it set to a live chat, so that is very much a good thing. Because oftentimes I'll end up forgetting setting it to live chat, and I'll just, like, go on top chat. Oh, we just do a normal double battle? Do we do a double battle and then a triple battle? Is that how this works? That's less than ideal if you're going to intimidate with both Herdiers. Okay, only one Herdier intimidates. I think Gear Grind might still be the best option to go with. Oh, that is pathetic. That also could be better. I don't want to say my own move is pathetic. And something that I... Wait, what? What move is... Wait, what move is that? I didn't see. Something that I didn't really, like, take into account, but which definitely is true. Things like Intimidate, or when I get, like, send attacked or some bullshit like that. Usually you can just switch out and have your stat increase or decreases reset. I can't do that, is the thing. And I am so glad you didn't do that against me. Then again, I probably would have been fine because I'm a steel type. I don't know why I'm acting like it's Herdier or actually any... I mean, the preschoolers, for God's sake. They're not going to be a threat to me. Are they? They're probably not. I can't imagine that they are. I've also... we talked about it a little bit in the Discord after the ending of the last stream. I talked about it during the ending of the last stream a little bit as well. I have decided to at least give it a shot for the next 2 months to do the weekly community run videos, or streams rather, on Twitch. Because it does really seem like live streaming in general is not great for your YouTube analytics. And it's not like a lot of people tune in here anyway, so, like, might as well just give it a shot. So I'm gonna, for the next 2 months, which that is May and June at least, I'm gonna move it to Twitch and see if that, number one, changes anything about, like, audience interaction for the streams itself. I doubt it will. But there is a larger chance. It's still like a 0.001% chance. But people always say Twitch doesn't have great discoverability compared to YouTube. And while that is to a certain extent true, I feel like for live streaming specifically, like when I've streamed on Twitch, and it's not a lot, admittedly, so it's not a very good study by any means. But when I've live streamed on Twitch, I would occasionally get people coming in, like, not regularly, but not rarely either, you know? Coming in like, oh, I just saw a small streamer in this category, which usually is like something Pokemon related, something else sometimes. But, you know, I saw somebody was streaming this game and I'm very interested in like small streamers, so I just like come and hang out. That's never really happened in that same regard, I don't think, on YouTube streams. So in that regard, I would definitely say that, as a matter of fact, discoverability on Twitch is very bad. But for YouTube live streaming, it might just be worse. Obviously, for YouTube videos, discoverability is a lot better than it is on Twitch or for YouTube live streams. Because what a lot of people don't seem to really grasp, and I don't know if this is exactly 100% true, and wow, I just did that without paying attention, is that streams on YouTube, like video on demand, like post-streaming, so just like when it is just a video on your channel, it might just seem like a video, which also like has a live chat next to it that replays, right? It's not. As far as I can tell, like YouTube itself, it doesn't really promote streams the same way it promotes videos. So once a stream is done, like you might have a subscriber or two watch the stream, but other than that, it's not gonna like grow you at all. Whereas videos will. Again, take this with a grain of salt. This is just from what I've like researched based on a little bit of Googling and my own analysis of my own numbers. So there might be a chance that Twitch is better for live streams for discoverability as well. And on top of that, not hurting my total analytics and then tanking the performance of my videos because I'm live streaming. Because that is something that I am 100% sure actually happens, because I've seen a lot of cases from people who started live streaming and like their channel analytics dipped, and people who stopped live streaming and their channel analytics like skyrocket. Well, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna go back to like 15k views a month the moment I stop streaming on YouTube, but there's a possibility of that, right? I've seen a lot of anecdotal evidence. Granted, it is anecdotal because I don't have a like massive sample size, but based on what I Google on, it is a effect that is not particularly rare to see. So, long story short, starting next week, you should go to twitch.tv/vloggergames to catch these streams, and we'll see how that ends up going. If that doesn't end up making a difference for either YouTube or Twitch viewership, if it just stays, oh, that's not good. Oh, that's real not good. I might just move it back to YouTube again if it doesn't make a difference. Because the one upside it does have on YouTube is that it does provide you with a I'm gonna use a potion. I probably should buy some more potions as well, shouldn't I? So yeah, the one upside YouTube has in that regard is that when I finish streaming, it's still available as a video on my YouTube channel. And from a viewer perspective, that is nice to be able to like watch something the day after it was streamed. Right? Just as a like 2-hour-long video. Well, from an analytics perspective, that is exactly the issue. Is that it's then taken into account as a video for my analytics, but it's not promoted the same way as a video because it's all complicated and stuff. So a very, very long story short is next week we'll move to Twitch and see how that goes. Another upside to that is the thing that really like pushed me over the edge on this decision is that I wanted to do giveaways on stream as well. I occasionally do giveaways on the Discord server, not often enough, I forget a lot of the time. I want to do them on stream, and Streamlabs has a functionality for that, but it doesn't work with YouTube streaming. So I want to at least give that a shot as well, and see how the giveaway function on Twitch streaming with Streamlabs works. Because I think that would be kind of nice to be able to go through the backlog of Humble Bundle keys that I have. Because if you didn't know, which if you hadn't figured that one out yet, all the things I give away on my Discord server are like 99% of those are just like Humble Monthly keys of games that I don't want myself or already have. And that's like, that is most of them, admittedly. And I mostly have that subscription at this point to give away the games. More so than for myself. But I need to get through those. So if I can like get some extra games given away on stream, it also is an incentive to actually come watch the stream. Hey, it's some marketability in there as well, which is something that mostly people might not say out loud, but that is the kind of thing like that is why giveaways exist. Like I do give away the things on my Discord because I like giving away things. Like I like making people happy with free stuff. It's just that simple. I really do enjoy that. But on the other hand, it's also an incentive for people to join the Discord server. And when they're in the Discord server, they get notifications for when I upload videos. So I give away free stuff to some people. And in theory, that might drive some more traffic to the Discord server, which then might drive traffic towards the video. And it also works to circumvent the YouTube algorithm deciding not to show videos to certain subscribers, because sometimes that happens. When you are on multiple platforms, you get multiple chances for people to get notified of an upload, so you want to get people on your email list if you do that, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, in your Discord server, whatever. This is one way of doing it, is luring people in with free games, and then they're there and they get notified of videos, and then your videos do better in the YouTube algorithm, and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. Same thing applies to the live streamers, right? Because the live streamers haven't been doing so hot. Gotta be honest about that. I figured maybe putting a little bit of an incentive on coming to hang out and watch live. I mean, if people don't want to, they don't want to, but it might like pique people's interest because of that. It doesn't mean that my Discord is going to stop doing the giveaways, by the way. I'm going to do both. I'm going to try to, if I don't forget, I just need to like pick a day on which I do it every week is the thing. So, for instance, Sunday, right? I might just pick Sunday because that's tomorrow. The day after a stream. Which, that might actually be a good one, because then people who don't get the giveaway win on stream like have another chance on the Discord, which will then be 2 games. Might not be a bad idea. Like 2 games a week on Discord, and then 1 game a week, at least for the foreseeable future, on Twitch. Partly to get through the backlog, because I have like 70 keys that I haven't given away yet. And it's starting to build up. Every month I get like 9 more. And if you do the math, if I do like 3 a week in total, that's not good. If I do 3 games a week in total, that is not sustainable if you're only getting 9 keys a month. So at some point that's going to balance out or something. I don't know. I might just like buy a normal Humble Bundle on top of that, right? Because if I just like get one Humble Bundle a month on top of Humble Monthly, then I suddenly have like 9, and then depending on the bundle, like plus either like between 6 and 10 more games. So that should be fine. The hell am I going to do against the Sandile is the question though. Miss a lot, apparently, first and foremost. I'm probably going to die, aren't I? Yeah, I'm definitely going to die. Maybe Vice Grip will do a thing? Can you please just hit? For the love of God, thank you. At least it's a critical hit. I don't know if that crit mattered. I guess we'll find out. I think that crit might have mattered. I'm thinking that crit might have mattered. I'm not going to take a risk. I'm using potions. I'm actually playing this... Okay, fresh water it is. I'm actually playing this smart. I never use potions. But I really don't want to lose is the thing. Because I look stupid when I lose, and I don't want to look stupid. Is pretty much what that comes down to. So, please, for the love of God, stop being confused. I can't believe how many times I missed against the Sandile. Is mostly what I'm still shocked about. And now you put me to fucking... Come on! Really? At least Superfang can't kill me. Thank you. Was that the last grunt? I think that might have been the last... Okay, that was the last grunt. I was going to be upset if that wasn't the last grunt and I was going to die. What happens when you die to one of these grunts? Do you have to refight them all? Or do you pick up where you left off? Because you have to refight them all. That is... That could have been real bad. I mean, it's not that horrible, all things considered. Like, I'm never going to use the Nevermelt Eyes, but it's just, like... Almost muscle memory at this point to pick up that item. Because I just always do. Because usually it's actually a pretty useful item, especially since you can get ice types here in the normal game. You can still find them and counter them, I think at least, right? Maybe I'm just going insane. No, you can't encounter anything within that place, but maybe in the grass? I feel like you can get vanilla around these places somewhere. Maybe it's because you encounter them in trainer battles, though. I don't know. Either way, we're going to go to the 5th question mark gym. I think it's the 5th. It might be the 4th. No, it's the 5th. It's the 5th. I'm hoping we do the 5th and maybe the 6th gym today, and that's probably realistically all we're going to get to. I very much am terrified of this gym because I have a steel type. And there's a ground type gym, obviously. So I don't really know how this is going to go. Like any rock types, like ground rock types we might run into, that's not going to be a problem. We can gear grind those into oblivion. But everything else, like, it's probably going to be an issue. Like this dude over here. You use Aqua Ring, I use Gear Grind, but you kind of resist that. So at that point, maybe it's a better idea to use Vice Grip instead. I don't know that it is, though. It probably is. It probably most definitely is. I'm going to check in a moment what the power on Gear Grind is. Gear Grind is a very good move, is the thing. So let's check moves here for a moment. Vice Grip is 55, Gear Grind is 50, but twice with stab. So even if it wasn't twice, if it just was once, right? With stab, that becomes 75. Wait, that means that Gear Grind is practically a Hyper Beam? Is it really that powerful? I mean, yeah, it's got 85% accuracy, which isn't great, as shown against the Sandile. But that does mean that it's pretty much a Hyper Beam worth of power. Wow. Then again, half that, back to 75, and you're still more powerful than this. So there's literally no reason for me not to use Gear Grind against anything, like, at all, ever. Unless it's double resisted and it's not resisted, like, and normal type. I was afraid that might happen. If normal type does full damage, and Gear Grind would only do a quarter damage, that is when I use Vice Grip. And I think that might be literally impossible, because that would need to be like a steel. Steel type would also resist normal. Water? Water resists steel? What else resists steel? I always think flying, but flying is not a correct answer. I don't think anyway. Fairy definitely, also not. But fairy doesn't exist in this game, so that doesn't matter. Let's just give it a shot. Let's just fuck off. Let's just see what Vice Grip does against what Gear Grind does, because it's probably fairly similar, but Gear Grind probably does just a tad bit more. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much equal. What does Mirror Shot do? I gave it because I wasn't going to use Bind, and that might actually be coming back to bite me in the butt. User uses a flash of energy to target from its polished body. May also lower the target's accuracy. It's got a piss poor accuracy by itself, and it's a special attack, which... yeah, let's not do that. Let's just not. Okay, sure, use Uproar. But now what do we do? Because you're going to send out Drillbur. Drillbur is going to dig, because it outspeeds us. You use Metal Claw, because you're a fucking idiot. And now you're dead. Because, again, that is practically a Hyper Beam to the face. If I didn't have Gear Grind, I don't know what I would do. Also, the evolution is going to make things slightly easier on me, I do think. Scrap is now a Clang, and Scrap is going to have to go back to the Pokemon Center immediately after the first fight, because, again, we're a Steel type. I was going to say Metal type, but it's Metal type is not what it's called. It's a Steel type in a Ground type gym. The next gym is going to be at least a bit easier, because it's a Flying type gym and I have Charge Beam. But again, did you look at my special attack? I don't know if I get something like Volt Tackle or something like that. Probably not, because Volt Tackle is a Pikachu exclusive line. But like, what is the other one? Wild Charge? Or is that the Fire type one? The move Zepstrika uses. I don't know what the name of it is off the top of my head. I'm fairly certain we can skip that one and go immediately to this. But I don't know, frankly. Okay, Croco Rock. We have a lot more HP, holy shit. Actually, let's take a look at my stats, because maybe my special attack is now actually kind of usable. Yeah, it's not... I mean, it's not the worst. My worst stat is my speed, because everything is going to outspeed me. But still, Gear Grind is definitely the way to go, because... Oh my god, that was one hit and it almost killed that thing. Okay, I like that. I am grossly overpowered, as far as, like, levels go. And this leads to the gym leader. Okay, so this might not actually be that big of a deal, because as long as I can live a hit or two... Which that is the biggest issue, is I need to live a hit or two. But pretty much everything melts. I outspat the Drillbur. Okay. That is actually really fucking good. So all I need to be able to do is live a hit from some of the faster Pokemon on his team. Because I feel like the rest of his team, like pretty much everything except Excadrill, is just going to fucking melt to a Gear Grind. Excadrill is definitely going to be an issue, because it's a steel type. And I don't have anything to hit steel types. Like, literally nothing. I got rid of the only thing that could do, like, residual damage, which was bind. Oh, this might actually... Please don't hit yourself. You might have just fucked yourself. I'm gonna be honest. You might have just fucked yourself. This is... You definitely... I stepped out of confusion. I have +2 attack now. That is resistant. That was a critical hit. That is resistant. That is insane. That pretty much nullifies the resistance you have against Gear Grind. So this is now technically a neutral move. So this is a neutral Hyper Beam, practically speaking. If you can one-shot me, you win. Or you have a Hyper Potion. I guess I can miss Gear Grind. There's a 50% chance that I do miss Gear Grind. But you still do need to one-shot me. Or just spam potions until I miss. Is really what's going on. Or until I get a critical hit, for that matter. Because if I get a critical hit on one of the hits, I also win. Why would you use Rock Slide? Surely you have Earthquake. That was way too easy. I just beat this gym. I was expecting to spend an hour on this gym. We're 30 minutes into the stream. And I beat this gym. And the badge does still look very much like a broken dildo. I'm flabbergasted. That is the exact correct word. I am flabbergasted. And so the fact that we managed to win that easily. Like, that was the first... I didn't even have to, like... I was totally prepared to lose that attempt and go back with, like, a shitload of potions. To very slowly go through. I didn't even need to do that. I didn't even need to do that. I just won. And now we have a Bianca Fight, because of course we do. And she does have tapping. So this might actually be more difficult than the gym fight we just did. Which is just insane. Then again, I am fairly over-leveled. And, okay, the Intimidator is actually gonna sting quite a bit, because I can't get rid of it. Still 2 shots to her. Ah, not quite. That's the move he used before. World Cup. Of course, your Hyper Potion. So far, this fight already more difficult than the gym fight, because I didn't instantly one-shot. I must say, I also got supremely lucky with the swagger and then not hitting myself, but being... Like, just imagine for a quick moment that I had not been swaggered. And my gear grinds would have done half damage. Compared to what they did. That action rail part of the fight would have been much more painful. I got very lucky. That things worked out as they did. And that's probably not something that I could replicate even if I wanted to. I wasn't going to use Minor Shot anyway, so... You do you. And the critical hit. Actually, against Pokemon that I needed to get... Wait, you didn't? Oh, you have a Surviving because I have Tapping. I am an idiot. Chariot has the Fire Monkey. Bianca has Surviving. I have Tapping. That's the thing. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense, actually. Because that was the entire reasoning why I took Tapping. Because I wanted to prevent any of my other rivals from having Tapping. And then obviously Charon got the Fire Monkey, which is still annoying, but not as bad as a Amboar would be. Like, Incineroar is not easy to deal with necessarily with the steel type I have, but it's not as bad as Incineroar, because that would have also been a fighting type. And that's 2 typings that I could not deal with. So can I please get through this entire route without fighting a single... Of course I can. That would be too nice, wouldn't it? Well, at least it's not a big deal. We're also going through the Chargestone Cave today. And I don't think the Chargestone Cave should be really an issue for me at all. Just due to the fact that maybe I can get a better electric type move in there, actually. Maybe if there's any place to get an electric type TM, it must be Charge Stone, right? Maybe not Thunderball necessarily, but like, I don't know what else. I really have no idea what other useful move, like Spark? I would take Spark. Spark is a physical move, right? I think Spark is a physical move. I need a physical electric type move is what I need. I mean, I wouldn't say no to Thunderbolt because it would be better than Charge Beam, which is what I have right now. But I really want a physical electric type move because that would actually be useful for me. I just don't know if I can easily get one. Maybe... Hold on! Didn't I get Volt Switch? Volt Switch is physical. It's not powerful, but it usually would... well, force your Pokemon out. But seeing as how I only have one Pokemon, it just becomes a normal move. And it's got 70 power and it's special. I very much doubt that I could even learn it, to be honest. I can learn it. Of course I can. Let's see, Charge Beam is 50. Thing is, if I use Charge Beam once, my special attack gets raised by one stage, which is 50%. So that becomes 75 from the second use onwards. And then only becomes more powerful the more I use it. And especially against a gym leader, where the weaker Pokemon come out first, where I can kill them and increase my stats at the same time, it wouldn't take particularly long for Volt Switch to not deal any damage compared to Charge Beam. So I don't think Volt Switch is the right thing to do here. That being said, Bulldoze, maybe not for this, never mind. Would have been nice just for like coverage sake, but sure. We'll live either way. We'll be fine. And nobody cares about you. That's not true. You have a lot of fangirls. And fanboys, for that matter. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of encounters here again. Oh yeah, you can find Kling in here. That is right. I forgot about that entirely. I also... Hold on. Don't you get the Lucky Egg here? Because I am not overleveled enough. I at least want to evolve into my final stage before the end of this stream. I think that is reasonable because I think it's like level 42 or 43 where you can become Kling Klang. And with the Lucky Egg, that does become very much more attainable. Especially with all the trainer battles coming up in a moment here. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Lucky Egg. Give to Scrap. I probably should have gone ahead and bought some potions before coming in here, because honestly, I forgot that there's like Team Plasma stuff happening here. I almost said Team Galactic again. It's been like a year since 30 years, where every time I talked about Team Plasma, I almost accidentally say Galactic, because I just, for some reason, my brain fills it in that way. I don't know why. It's almost been a year. And I still do it. This is not where I have to go. This is where I have to go. I don't know what that item up there is, but again, I am very much looking for a physical electric type move. I am content with using Charge Beam if need be. I can live with that. But if I can get Spark, that would be... Or a Heal Ball. In a solo run where I can't catch anything anyway. I got really lucky there that I was in the middle of an animation so I couldn't fight. Or is Charge Stone Cave... Wait, is that Black and White 1 or 2 where you fight? No, because N is in here, so it's definitely in this game. For a moment there I thought I might be confusing Black and White 1 with Black and White 2, because I haven't played Black and White 2 as much as I've played Black and White 1. I've played Black and White 1 probably like 7 or 8 times at this point, and Black and White 2 only 2 or 3 times. I've never actually completed Black and White 2 all the way to like the Elite Four, because I've only done it on like streams, and well, never on stream, I think, on video, like for Let's Play purposes. I've never played it of my own, like my own accord. So you can just go back and see how many Black 2 series I've done. I think it's 2. I think it's Black 2 Randomizer Nuzlocke and then another Black 2 Randomizer Nuzlocke. And I've played Pokemon Black and White, both versions I've played, and I've played them off video as well quite often. Like at least 2 or 3 times. And then I've done the Through the Years. The last Through the Years actually, this is going to be painful. The last 30 years actually got to Black and White, so I played pretty much the entire game except for Victory Road and the Elite Four there. And then I've done at least 2 series on Pokemon Black Randomizer on Nuzlocke. I think maybe 3 as well on that one. And I'm sure I've played it for another series at some point on the channel as well. Like probably another community run or something, right? So, long story short, I've played this game a lot. Matter of fact, I always, like... I go back and forth between my favorite generation being 4 and 5. 4 I have a lot more nostalgia for. I think 5 is way better executed and just like a better like set of games. And I honestly don't remember now that I'm thinking about it. And it's only been like a month. Maybe 2 at this point, I don't know. I honestly don't remember what order I placed them in my top 5 Pokemon Generations video. I think that was this month, right? Like that was the beginning of April that I uploaded that? Or was that the beginning of March? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember if Generation 4 or 5 was placed on top. I'm thinking Generation 4 because I remember... Yeah, it is definitely Generation 4 because I also took spin-offs into account, and Generation 4 is a amazing generation for spin-offs. Like, we have Explorers of Sky, or we have Shadows of Olmia. I think Guardian Signs, which is less good in my opinion, is Generation 5, so that's not relevant. We have those 2 games. We also have Pokemon Rumble, the original one anyway, which I very much do like. I think that's Generation 4, right? Is it Generation... No, I distinctly remember facing Darkrai, I think, and Dialga and Palkia and Giratina. Maybe I faced Arceus as well? I don't remember. I distinctly remember that, because you play through that entire game, Pokemon Rumble. It's a WiiWare game, by the way, if you don't know. You play through the entire game twice. You play once with only Kanto Pokemon, and the final boss is Mewtwo. And then you play through the entire fucking thing again, with like higher levels, with mostly like Sinnoh Pokemon, I think, but just like National Dex Pokemon, for lack of a better term right now. So, and then I think the final boss, it would make sense if it was Arceus, but I think it's Darkrai. I'm gonna look this up, hold on. While we use Gear Grind against his Trubbish, let me look this up. Pokemon, oh, I also have to sneeze. Ah, fuck, that hurt. I pulled a muscle on my back like 2 days ago, and it's not that bad anymore. But when I like sneeze or when I cough, it still hurts. Final boss. You're living a lot of attacks, aren't you? Let's see. I want from the original Pokemon Rumble, not any of these. Let's see. That's definitely... Let's see, who is the final boss? We have Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia here. I'm just going to let this video play on my second screen while we continue this fight. And this person is playing as Giratina Origin form, which I think you had to like put in a code for that, right? That is not a Pokemon that you could get naturally, I'm fairly sure. Maybe by... Wait, oh, it's still just Mewtwo. Oh, that's kind of sucky that it's still Mewtwo. Well, that's the answer. It's Mewtwo. It's kind of disappointing. Isn't there a doctor anywhere around here? Because I could very much use a healing right now. Not necessarily to do with anything HP related, but my PP is running low, and like I have that issue often. But this time I have it in game. it's a joke because it's just, oh, I'm hilarious. What were we talking about before Pokemon Rumble? I don't remember. Pokemon Rumble kind of got me sidetracked. And it's not like I'm like very awake today either. I'm, as I said, a little tired, and I don't really know why. It's probably because my back is hurting so much, and as I've talked about in the past, like even if you don't do too much, I say too much like, I'm going to try to stop that because it's probably very annoying. But I've talked about that in the past, I'm pretty sure, right? Where you, I also say right a lot. Where even if you don't really do anything all day long, if you're in pain, that is very, very tiring. And I haven't really done too much today. As I said, I did for a video, but that was finished by like 1 o'clock PM. And then I like recorded some footage for the Stanley Parable, which I would very much like to make a video dedicated to just the Stanley Parable, but it's such a open-ended and like you need to experience it type of game that I don't really know how to make a video on it. Like I can definitely incorporate it within other larger topic videos, but just making a video on that one specific game, I don't know how I would go about doing that. So I'm at this point just kind of looking for excuses to talk about that game, and I have found one in the video that I'm working on right now. And I also want to do a video about video games and storytelling. And I do think that it's a very, very good fit for that video as well. But that's going to be a couple of months from now, because right now I'm working on, you know what, I'm just going to say what the video is I'm working on. I'm working on a video about what is a game. I've already recorded the voiceover, I just need to edit it, and that's going to take quite a while. And after that, I very much want to continue, like, the thought process I build up inside that what is a game video. Because you are going to absolutely annihilate me, aren't you? I want to continue the thoughts I have in that video I'm working on right now. And I think I can very easily do that with the Mario Sunshine Isn't a Platformer video I talked about a couple of months ago. I still have that idea, and I think it works very well after having discussed what I discussed in that video that I'm working on right now. And after that, maybe I want to like use the what's its face? The Yu-Gi-Oh video that I still haven't uploaded yet, to just give myself a month of buffer. And then after that, I think I want to do a top 10 best video game stories video, where the Stanley Parable would be one of them. I don't know which the other ones would be quite yet. I think What Remains of Edith Finch, which next Sunday, not tomorrow, but next week, we're going to have a retrospective on that video, or on that game. It will probably also be on that list, But I want to have, like, not necessarily 10 games in order of which story I enjoyed, like, most to least, or least to most. Because that is so subjective, and to a certain extent, obviously, these... Oh, that I should have probably healed, eh? I can probably still win if I heal now. I want to give... And maybe it'll be a top 5. But I want to really, like, give a list where there's 5 or 10 games that don't really compare to each other. That all do very unique things with their storytelling. Another game that's definitely going to be on the list, for instance, is going to be Undertale. So... But that's 3 games, and obviously there's going to have to be a like more traditional story within that as well. I'm thinking Final Fantasy X for that, because that's my favorite Final Fantasy game. I fucking love that game to death. Let's try Mirror Shot, maybe? Well, that did the trick, didn't it? We defeated Team Plasma, and this is going very well today. Everything that I think is going to be an issue ends up being more or less fine. But that still leaves a 5th. Now I'm thinking about it more clearly. It's probably definitely better to keep it a top 5. Because, especially if I want to have like different methods of storytelling, 10 is maybe a bit much. And also, if I have to play 10 entire games for footage gathering and stuff like that, that's going to be kind of annoying. I mean, for Undertale, I'm going to have to play the entire game at least twice. Because I don't think I have footage anymore. I might still have the footage on YouTube. Because I think I uploaded my pacifist playthrough to YouTube. And I think I did a retrospective on it as well. Like, I did a neutral run. I did make progress with... I mostly had a lot of luck, to be honest. I did a neutral run, and I think that's up as a Let's Play. I did a pacifist run until, like, the actual ending of the game. I think I did that for my retrospective, though, and I don't think I have that footage anymore, because I didn't have my cloud storage yet, so I couldn't archive it. And I don't have any footage for Genocide, because Genocide Run apparently is very brutal. So I'm going to have to play that game at least once again, but probably twice, depending on the amount of footage I'll need. I don't know. And then I still need a 5th game. So I need a game that tells its story in an interesting, unique way, is pretty much what it comes down to. Because it's going to be called Top 5 Best Video Game Stories, but it's not going to be really a top 5. It's more going to be like a showcase of 5 games, if that makes sense. Just like give every game 2.5 minutes, explain why their storytelling is unique and what I like about it. Did you miss anything except for the Undertale? I mean, you missed about 50 minutes of me rambling about a lot of things, about Twitch versus YouTube for streaming. That took about like 20 minutes. I talked about... maybe it took about 30 minutes. You missed a very lucky gym fight. Like, the most lucky gym fights of all gym fights ever. What else did you miss? I don't remember what we talked about in Chargetown Cave, to be honest. I don't think you missed that much. Oh, you did miss me talking about the video that I'm working on right now. Which will become clear at some point anyway. You can just go back and watch the VOD if you really want to know. Remember when I was doing a randomizer? And I ran into a fucking Registeel in the grass here, and then the wild Registeel just ended my run. Because I remember that. I'll never forget that. Because that really fucking sucks. Like, I was legitimately considering at that point just to re-record the episode. I don't generally do that stuff, re-recording something when I die, but that felt cheap. Because Registeel... I hate Registeel. Registeel is always an issue in any run I do. Whenever I run into a Registeel, things fucking die. It might not have been a wild one, because otherwise I could have run away from it. It probably was one of the trains, now that I think about it a little bit more critically. Wildu was recording for myself, so joined later. What were you recording? I mean, probably Pokemon, I'm expecting, because Pokemon is the bomb. But which one? Your survivor lock thingy is probably Gen 8? You're a flying type, aren't you? Oh, also Scrap evolved. You missed out. Scrap is now a clan. And very close, I think, to becoming a Kling clan. We also have the Lucky Egg, because we weren't overleveled enough as is. And I'm still very much waiting for the time when I get a physical electric type move, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. Shanty and the Seven Sirens. Okay, that is not Pokemon. I have not played that game. Does it have an interesting story? Because I'm looking for a game with an interesting story to like add to the video I was just talking about. I've got four games, but a top 4 doesn't work, does it? It has to be a top 5. So, and right now, what I have in the 5th place is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, and while it does very well with like character writing, surprisingly well, I don't think it's different enough from Final Fantasy to warrant a spot on the list. And I think if I like Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky a lot. Like, I probably like it more than it has any right to be liked, but I like the genre. I like the main gameplay loop. I think it is written beyond well for what it is. It literally probably is my favorite Pokemon game. Not my favorite Pokemon spin-off, it probably is my favorite Pokemon game, period. I think Final Fantasy X still better. Like, from a gameplay perspective, I don't know. They're so different that it's difficult to say. I still think that the combat system in Final Fantasy X is genius. It's amazing. I fucking love it. The story of Final Fantasy X isn't maybe... Like, the characters aren't as interesting, but the story as a whole, I think, progresses a lot more smoothly. Metroidvania game with a very generic story. So that does not fit then. Okay, that's good to know. So I think Final Fantasy X is a way better fit for my list than Explorers of Sky. Sadly, because I very much do like Explorers of Sky. Am I going to actually like fight you is the question? I don't think that I will, because I don't really want to fight anybody in here. Also, I am over-leveled as is, so I can afford to skip a fight or two. You're not gonna actually give me anything other than the item, are you? That better be a worthwhile item. Storytelling, Hollow Knight or Metroid Prime? Storytelling through flavor. Hollow Knight might actually be the thing that I was looking for. That is a very good point. I might go for Hollow Knight. I might go for Hollow Knight for the 5th spot. That is a very, very good suggestion. Because it is a very unique way of telling its story. Its story is definitely not the central point of the game. But it's there. And you can tell it's there. Because everything, like, the character acting is done very well. And you can feel there's an underlying story. Even though if you don't, like, read the flavor text, you have no idea what's going on, but you know that something is going on. And I think, like, Hollow Knight, it's always like, it's Dark Souls, but like 2D, right? I think Hollow Knight does a better job at that than Dark Souls. I mean, Dark Souls does imply something about a lore and a bigger world as well. But I think Hollow Knight does that better. I also don't have a lot of experience with Dark Souls. And I have like a couple of hours and then like watching videos about it as experience for Hollow Knight. So maybe I'm just missing something on Dark Souls. I'm gonna go with Hollow Knight, I think. Unless I come up with something that I think is a better fit. But at this point, I probably would yeet Final Fantasy X off the list before Hollow Knight. Because Final Fantasy X, as much as I as much as I personally love that game, it doesn't do anything like particularly special. Even from a storytelling perspective, I just think... Look, I don't know if I can say that like in the video itself, but I very much like that the religious organization is the bad guy. That's really not going to make me a lot of friends saying that like in the video itself. I can just bring it as... I like it as a twist, because obviously religious people always are the good guys. No. But that is like honestly a not insignificant part as to why I like that story and that game. Obviously also just like the gameplay experience and the combat system in Final Fantasy X is wonderful. But in a game about, or in a video about game stories, that doesn't really matter. So, but I feel like having one traditional story in there, along all these like more interesting and dynamically told stories, kind of makes sense, right? I'm not really... Yeah, me neither, because they take like 50 fucking hours to complete. Wait. No, okay. Every time I see an electric move, I'm like, are you by any chance physical? Because if you are, I need you in my life right now. They're never physical. Also, I don't feel like there's a lot of story-heavy games that's been coming out recently. But maybe it's just because I've not been paying too much attention. But I feel like it's kind of like dry season for that. Might just be dry season for games in general, because like COVID is a thing. And developing big-budget games is a lot more difficult. Honey Pop 2? I mean... I get... Like, that's a visual novel, right? Or am I thinking about something else? I guess that is technically like a different way to tell a story. That's not really what I'm looking for. Bayonetta? Is Bayonetta very story-driven? I feel like that's mostly like boob-driven. Astral Chain, never heard of that. So, interesting. Link Between Worlds. Look, Zelda games aren't story-driven. Like, they try to be. They try to be, but they're adventures more so than stories, because the story in them is always very basic and just not very relevant. Digimon. Oh, these are the games you've probably recently played, is what you're saying. Not story heavy. Yeah, there you go. I probably should read the entire comment before shitting all over it. And then Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon. Got a couple of games from a friend which are story heavy, but they are PS4 and I don't have a PS4 or a PS5. I don't think anybody has a PS5 still, because there's still a silicon shortage worldwide, and I'm getting real fucking nervous about it because my GPU is starting to die. And obviously that's not an ideal time for your GPU to start dying right now. So I'm a little... God damn it! I'm a little nervous about that. I do, however, have a PS4. And I only use it for Kingdom Hearts. And at this point, it's not even necessary to have a PS4 for Kingdom Hearts, because PC releases are a thing. And once Kingdom Hearts... You're not going to turn around, are you? Fine. Once there's a little bit more modding on the PC scene for Kingdom Hearts, there's no reason anymore to play it. I mean, there already is no reason anymore to play it on PS4, because... load times are going to be significantly better on PC, probably. as well as actually being able to play in 4K if you have the hardware for it, which I don't. Yet. But I have a couple of weeks until the Kingdom Hearts 3 Let's Play is finished. We still have to do the entirety of the Keyblade Graveyard. So maybe by then there will be a PC-based randomizer, which would be neat. Or any other type of mod, honestly. Like if I can just get like away with like 2 or 3 weeks of just like mod spotlights for Kingdom Hearts, that would be amazing as well. I would love to do that. Even if it's just like, here, there's different Keyblades from other games now available in Kingdom Hearts 2. Or something like that. Or maybe you can finally get like the Kingdom Key D in the Keyblade of like the Princess's Hearts and things like that in Kingdom Hearts 1, right? As a kid, I wanted those 3 Keyblades that appear in Kingdom Hearts 1 that you can't actually get. It's the Kingdom Key D, it's the Keyblade of Hearts, and it's Shadow Sora's Keyblade. I wanted all 3 of those so badly as a kid. And that's relatively attainable. Oh, Charge Beam's done for. Damn it. That's relatively attainable at this point due to modding. Especially since 2 out of those 3 use the same model as the Kingdom Key and are literally just a texture swap. So that should be like not even easy. That should, I probably could do that myself. Like if I knew how to rip the assets from the game, I could just replace it. Because it's literally, for the Kingdom Key D, it's literally just invert. And for the Shadow Keyblade, it's literally just make it black and white and then make it darker. I could make both of those myself. I could probably make a 3D model for the Keyblade of Hearts as well, because it's not very complicated. Matter of fact, that might actually be a very fun project to work on. I need to go to the Pokemon Center before taking on this gym. That might be a fun project to work on, doing the Keyblade of Hearts in Blender. I might do that. Because it's literally just a pointy stick with like a red handle. I probably, matter of fact, I probably could do that in like an hour. Until I run into issues, at which point it'll probably take a couple of hours because I'm not that good at it. But I feel like it would make for a pretty decent practice. Looking to get a PS5, but the shortage is really annoying. Yeah, I can tell. That is annoying. I'm not particularly hyped for the PlayStation 5 itself. I mean, there's some games that I would very much like to play. I would very much like to play the Spider-Man game, because it looks dope as shit. I would very much like to play the Harry Potter game once it is released. I will obviously want to play the Kingdom Hearts games that come out for it once those start coming out for it, because that's gonna happen. But other than that, I don't really... There's not that much on the PS5 yet. Like, if right now you gave me the opportunity to buy either a PS5 or a Switch, god damn it, I always make that mistake. Either a PS5 or a Switch, I would probably buy a Switch. I mean, you already have a Switch, right? So that makes sense that you wouldn't go for the Switch at that point. But I'd probably go for a Switch, because there's plenty of games on the Switch already that are fun. And there's more coming that are promising, especially Pokemon-related ones. Whereas the PS5, I don't know. I feel like it's going to take a while, and by that point maybe there's like a PS5 Slim edition, or a Pro edition, or whatever, which I would much rather have. Now, if you gave me the option of being able to buy a PS5, buying a Switch, or buying a gaming PC at MSRP, I would go for the last, because have you seen component prices? Like, CPUs aren't even that bad. I took a look at what a Ryzen 9 5950X goes for at the moment. It's only €1,000, and usually it's 850. So it's only 150 euros, so that's about 10-ish%. 15-ish%. Almost 20% actually. well, 15 is closer, I think. Anyway, above its usual pricing. So it's not even that bad. But graphics cards, 3090s are still going for 3K. Those things are MSRP are at 1500. Those are going for twice the price they are supposed to. And it really hurts seeing that. Switch is better than PS5 or Xbox One. Collection and portability is great. I don't much care about the portability, though it is a nice feature. But it just has a lot of very fun and good games. And I guess the portability is nice because you can play Stardew Valley in that. And if, like, I honestly, like, I am so happy. I am also very confused, but I'm so happy that Stardew Valley is portable now, due to the Switch. Because Stardew Valley is really the kind of game that works very well because of portability. Like, all those Harvest Moon type games, right? It's very easy to just, like, sit down, like, in a bus ride, or, like, on your lunch break if you're that much of a nerd, which I would be. Like, something like that. Just sit down and play, like, 2 or 3 days of Stardew, and then, like, close the game again and go about your day. That would probably be the ideal way for me to play Stardew, because alternatively what happens when I try to play Stardew Valley is I open the game, 10 hours pass, and I feel like shit because I haven't eaten or drank anything all day. That is what ends up happening when I actually play Stardew on my PC. If I had a Switch and I could play it portably, I would actually need to like, leave the house to make use of the portability of it, which I obviously don't do that, but that would probably be a more healthy, I don't want to say more effective, but a more healthy way for me to play that game. Also, this gym was a fucking joke, because Charge Beam is actually a good move. Gaming PC is better. I mean, yeah, exclusivities aside, obviously a gaming PC is better because, look, the PC build I have in my mind, at least as a rough estimation, is gonna be expensive. It's gonna be like a build that I probably get most parts for towards the end of this year, and then like just try to get a graphics card whenever they're available again. It's probably gonna be somewhere next year. It's gonna be an expensive. Like, I can probably buy every. No, yeah. Let me rephrase that. I want a 3090 in there. Not for gaming performance, because gaming performance on a 3090 versus a 3080 isn't that much better. But it's mostly the VRAM in it. 24 gigabytes of VRAM is amazing. Also, we won that fight. I don't know if I acknowledge that at all. But for the price of that video card alone, you can buy all 3 current gen consoles. And that's at MSRP. That's not even at like the ridiculous price it's going for right now. That's what like the price is supposed to sell for, is as much as all 3 other consoles together. Add on top of that a 5950X, 64 gigabytes of RAM, also needs a power supply. It's going to be expensive. So my idea about that, and I think I'm fairly clever for this, because obviously it's a business expense, so I can get value-added tax back, which is going to be that 21%. It's not insignificant. But on top of that, if I buy most of the components that are available at any rate during Black Friday or Cyber Monday sales, I can probably get close to about like half the price of what like you usually would pay for those components. So then suddenly like a close to like 3,500 euro PC is probably like only about 2,000, which is still a lot of money, but it's also like probably gonna last me about 5 years at the very least. So. But that's going to be like a 2022 type of deal before that actually like becomes operational. So I really hope that my current GPU, that's where this all got started, I really hope that my current GPU survives that long. Because it's starting to glitch the fuck out for like a lot of things. I also do like... I need the time to save up money to be able to like buy that PC as well, because I don't have that money just like burning a hole in my pocket. I wish I did. I haven't talked about Dogecoin all this stream. Let me talk about that, because in January, after the initial like Elon Musk tweet spike, I figured like, you know what? It settled down now a little bit. Let me buy like €100 worth of Dogecoin, just like for shits and giggles. It'll probably like spike again at some point because it's such a meme coin. When something memey happens, it's probably going to spike, and it's going to be a very good moment to sell. And I downloaded the Dogecoin core wallet, and it started syncing. And what I didn't realize is that when I turned off my PC and turned it back on, I hadn't enabled like open software on startup for PC. So you can see where that's going. It wasn't synced. And then earlier this week, or like last week, I don't remember. I think earlier this week, I heard Dogecoin was spiking. So I figured out like, okay, let's... I'm gonna die here, aren't I? Yeah, I died. So I bought it at like 5 cents. It was up to 41 cents. So if I were to sell that €100 worth of Dogecoin at that price, it would be like 800. So I would have made €700, and I frankly kind of forgot that I had invested or gambled, really, that €100 on Dogecoin. So really, I just got the entire €800 back, which would have been very nice to go towards that PC. But my wallet wasn't synced, so I couldn't sell. So I had to wait until my wallet was synced, which took like 4 days, at which point the price had tanked to like 28 cents again, or like 29, something along those lines. So I sold it for about 5.20. At the moment, it's even lower. At the moment, the price is, let's check. Family visit now. Have good luck. That is illegal, good sir. Family visits. That's not allowed. Have fun though. I will be streaming for a little bit longer, not too much longer, I don't think, because I don't think we're going to be able to make it to like any significant milestones. I want to get Kling Klang, but let's see what Dogecoin goes for right now. As 27 cents. It's a little bit more stable again, I guess. Let's see. Slowly climbing back up. Yeah, this morning it was doing real bad. Well, yesterday morning, I don't remember when I checked. It was doing real bad. But yeah, so it's at 27 cents now. And it seems like 25 to 30 cents is going to be roughly where it lands. Stable? I told myself if it dips down to 10 cents or less again, I'm gonna buy a bit again, because I'm sure that it's going to get back to like 50 cents at some point. Because again, it's a meme coin, so if you just like don't want to like build up a living income out of it and just see it as it's a meme coin, so it's going to spike a lot. So when it goes down, you just buy and you just wait for it to spike up, and then you sell. And then when it inevitably crashes again, because it's a coin which this is not financial advice, by the way. It doesn't have a cap, so it's going to infinitely deflate. Inflate. There's going to be inflation, so the value will deflate. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's going to infinitely deflate. So it will come crashing down again, and then it will spike because of memes, and that's when you sell. It's really just, that is my vision on it. It's unlike something like Bitcoin, where, do I outspeed you now? I do, that's actually really fucking nice. Something like Bitcoin, which is just a currency. And as such, follows the usual rules of like supply and demand a little bit more. I mean, obviously the spikes due to memes are still caused by like supply and demand, but still, it's mostly just like memes. There's people in the Dogecoin community, as far as I can tell. Maybe they're just being so satirical that I can't tell the difference. It's a possibility. But there's people that, at least from my perspective, really seem to see Dogecoin as a legitimate cryptocurrency, and like just like Ethereum would be, or just like Bitcoin would be, or just like Litecoin or things like that. And it's just not. It just isn't. It is a meme coin. And that's fine. But don't like make it out to be more than that, right? So, long story short, I made a little bit of money, so I've got a little bit of extra money in my savings account now, which is very nice. And I also like I got some extra shares for my portfolio. Because I throw about €100 a month into my savings account, and then also 100 into investments. So I threw in another 100 at investments this month, and another little bit for my savings account, and then just a little bit of extra money to just like have a little bit of a more luxurious month this month. Altogether, I think that is a pretty decent way to spend the 500 or so euros that I made through pure coincidence, really. Could have been 800. I was hoping it was 800. I would have spent the money differently if it was 800, interestingly enough. Because at that point, I pay myself at the moment about like 700-800, depending on the month, and if I know that there's going to be more expenses or less expenses. From like my business earnings, I make more than that, but that's all I need, and I very much like to keep a difference in what is my money and what is company money, even though for like tax purposes it's all my money. But I just like to keep that separate, right? Things that like the business makes money and I pay myself an income. Just like I would if I worked for another company. I think that is generally like the most healthy thing to do. That way you also like keep that buffer going, and I don't need metal sound. So what my original plan is if I can get 800 of these Dogecoin, I just won't pay myself this month and I'll live off the Dogecoin. Funnily enough, because it became less, I chose to spend it another way. Most of it's still saved. Don't get me wrong. It's still, like 300 of the 520 went into my savings account and shares. So most of it's still saved and invested. So I'm being fiscally responsible with my Dogecoin winnings. It's just interesting how decisions change based on the numbers surrounding them, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. Because at the end of the day, it's still all money, and like my net gain and net loss is not going to change unless like the shares that I bought are going to absolutely like skyrocket within the next like couple of weeks, and I can sell them. But I generally like don't sell. At all. I never know how to get through this cave. Long story short is I'm saving up to get that PC upgrade towards the end of the year, and at that point, damn it. At that point, it's mostly just due to when is the worldwide like GPU shortage going to stop. And now that I don't have any stakes, like, yeah, I still have like 18 Dogecoin. So if Dogecoin goes full on Bitcoin somehow, and I am proven wrong about it being a meme coin, and they go for 50k, I have like $500,000. That would be kind of neat. Don't get me wrong, I would love that. It's not gonna happen. So I really am hoping for a cryptocurrency crash sooner rather than later. Because if crypto manages to crash before like December, I can probably get a GPU by the end of the year. I don't mind paying a little bit extra to get the CPU. Again, as I said, it's like the CPU I'm looking for is like 850. Usually it's going for about 1,000 now. It sucks a little, and I don't know how the supply and demand might impact the ability to do sales. There might just not be any crazy like 30-40% off sales because there is a shortage, and that would really fucking suck. But I don't mind paying like that extra 100 euros, but I'm not gonna pay like over 1,000 more for a GPU. I'm just not gonna do that. At that point, if my GPU breaks down right now, it's thrown a wrench into my plans anyway, because I would have to replace it immediately, and that would really eat into my budget for a PC upgrade. So at that point, I also wouldn't need it as badly, because okay, so part of the reason that I'm like, I want to get a full PC upgrade is because of a couple of reasons. I want to have that 3090, but I can't just throw a 3090 into my current rig, because I would have to upgrade the power supply. That's pretty much all. I would have to upgrade the power supply. But to take full advantage of it, I also probably would need a better CPU. So there you go, that's already like half your PC, like the most expensive parts of the PC anyway, that needed to be replaced. And on top of that, I have the philosophy that, look, for my job, I need to have a functioning PC. And I need to have that, like, I can't really deal with the fact that my PC would break down for like more than a day or two, because I need to be able to edit. So if I upgrade this PC, that's fine, but if I build a separate PC, I can just like use this one as like a media box and hook it up to like a television or something like that, right? Just like a very oversized Chromecast at that point. That's not what I wanted to use. But hey, it looked like it works, so who cares? But mostly at that point I have a backup PC should something go wrong with the main PC. So I always have something to fall back on. And to be able to work. And that argument really kind of like sold me. Like, it's an argument that I made to myself, but still, it really kind of sold me on the idea of, yeah, I'm going to, like, at the end of this year, maybe the start of next year, I'm going to have to get that, not a PC upgrade, just a new PC. And also, it's just a big flex. I'm planning on making a PC building video as well. Because I've always wanted to do one of those videos, right? I really like Linus Tech Tips as a YouTube channel. And I've always wanted to do a video in that style, at least like roughly that style. I never know where to go here. I think it's this direction, maybe? Definitely not. And I mean, I have the equipment for it, more or less. I mean, I don't shoot on red cameras, sadly, but I have camera equipment, I have lighting equipment, I can, like, have one of those videos. I just need a camera operator at that point, and lucky me, I know quite a few quite a few camera operators. So, I'm planning to, if possible, make a PC building video like that when I have it, just because I think it's fun. I always wanted to make a video like that. It's not like I'm going to start with like a tech channel. I would love to, but I don't think I quite have the expertise for that. I know enough to like build my own PC and know how to build it and what to get for building it and all that kind of stuff. I don't have the very like in-depth technical know-how about how everything works on a very deep level to be able to actually like do proper videos on tech. I would have to learn a lot of new information for that, and I'm just not that much into it. So just doing it as a one-off fun little video, I'm very much looking forward to that. So that's going to happen sometime next year when I have all the equipment for it. The equipment to build the PC, not to record the video, because obviously I already have that. It's literally just a camera, a couple of lights, and well, that's it, really, isn't it? Microphone, that's also important. Microphones. Let's see, we're an hour and a half in. I don't know, where is the 7th gym? Are we getting anywhere close to the 7th gym? Do we have to do the Dragon Spiral Tower before or after? I think we do it before. No, we do it after. So we probably can get through the 7th gym, because if I recall correctly, it's an Ice-type gym. So we're going to annihilate that with Gear Grind. Also, I think I'm about to evolve. There we go. At least that goal has been satisfied. So I think we will be able to do the 7th gym, and as such, if I hadn't skipped the first week of this month for streaming, we would have been able to... We would have been able to finish the game. I am terrified about this. Yeah, I didn't think that was a good idea. Wait. Is this just the exit? Did I fight that fucker for no reason? Well, I didn't fight him for no reason, because now I have Kling Clang, which is just Clang with an extra ring. Really? Let's take a look at the stats. Holy crap, your physical attack is so much better. Up special attack if Pokemon has plus or minus. If an other Pokemon has plus or minus. Okay, so that really doesn't matter. That's some real good physical attack. I'm enjoying that. Still, special attack isn't anything great, but sure. Let's like do a fight here if we need to. Hopefully not against Cherin. I would very much prefer fighting these grunts over Cherin. But I think I can take... Oh, we don't have to do that. Please don't fight me. You don't fight... I love you. Okay, so let's go take on the 7th gym. And end up the stream with that. And also a lot of dialogue, because obviously that always needs to happen. I'm fairly certain we can just walk into the gym, beat everybody's ass, and then go into Dragon Spiral Tower, technically speaking. We're not going to do that because that leads into like the actual story of the game, and we don't have time for all of that. Because from the moment it's called Dragon Spiral, right? I'm not going insane. From the moment you go into that tower, it's one very big ride to the end of the game, pretty much. Like everything leads into the next. Is that true? I don't know that that's true. Let's just say that that's true because that makes me feel better about myself. But this gym is not going to be an issue at all. I mean, I am 15 levels higher. Well, I don't want to say anything in here, but I'm 15 levels higher than at least this Sculpture almost. It's 14 levels, but that's close enough. I have a type advantage, I think, against ice types. And if not, I just am very, very powerful. See, Mirror Shot. Is it super effective? Yeah, it's super effective. So I have a type advantage, I have a level advantage, I have an insane physical attack stat, and mind you, every one-shot that I'm doing right now, that wasn't a one-shot because Cragnole is very defensive, is based on my special attack, which is the lower of the two stats by a very wide margin, because I think it's like 80-something against 130-something. So once I start using Gear Grind on the actual threatening things in this gym, they will just melt. They will literally melt. they do not stand a chance. This is going to be the most sweep I've ever done in a gym. Like, even more so than I did in the flying type gym. And that was pretty sweepy as it is, right? So, I'll just show you how much gear grind. The gear grind is a double hit move. I only needed to hit once to kill that Cryogonal. That's how grossly overpowered I am at this point. This is why I love solo runs. Like, I don't know. Like, there was a thing we talked about in the Discord, I think, about am I going to do the community run this month because it's a solo run and that maybe isn't as interesting to stream. I love solo runs because this kind of shit happens where you get so grossly overpowered that everything, like, either things are an issue, sometimes things are a real big issue, I'll give you that, because you end up like facing a fire type and you only have a steel type, and that is slightly problematic to say the least. Wait, what? God damn it. But whenever that is not the case, things die a lot. Where do we go? Oh. No. Wait, where do we go? We gotta get over there, so we... Usually I'm pretty good with these puzzles, I don't know. Oh, obviously we... I've been trying to avoid that trainer because I didn't feel like fighting it. Obviously you need to get through that in order to progress with the gym. That is just stupidity on my part. As I was saying, I'm usually pretty good at those type of sliding puzzles. There's one of the few type of puzzles that I'm pretty good at. I don't know if I'm pretty good at them because it's some kind of puzzle that I just like naturally am better at than other puzzles, because usually puzzles are real like bad for me. I'm really not good at doing puzzles usually. And then you turn around. Oh, there we go. This type of puzzle, it comes more natural to me, I guess. Either that, or what's more likely is that I've just memorized all the sliding puzzles in every Pokemon game ever, and that is why I can do them without too much trouble. Doesn't explain why I just fucked up that one so badly, because I've probably, out of all the sliding puzzles, I've probably done this one the most, because again, I've played Gen 5 probably more so than most other generations. I don't want to say any other generation, because I've played like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum a lot as well. But like on a per game basis, if you see Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, like Diamond and Pearl are the same game, but Diamond, Pearl and then Platinum as two separate games, I think I might have played Black and White more than the Gen 4 games. I'm fairly certain that that is correct. See, it just comes naturally to me. I just look at a thing and then, to be fair, this is an easy puzzle because it does show you like where you're going to end up after the curve. I don't really want to use too much gear grind, but I feel like at this point I'm facing Pokemon where it's necessary to use them. Against Cupchew, I am very much confident in the fact that it uses Undo, in using Mirror Shot otherwise. And then we can just Vice Grip, I guess, to murder the Cupchew. We don't get to level 51 quite. And then you turn around, you do this. We do that. And we are at the gym leader. This is going to be quick. This is going to be real quick. There's going to be like no problem here whatsoever. There's 3 Pokemon versus Vanillish. We've just taken out like a higher level Vanillish than that. So obviously Gear Grind can miss. And now you have a higher defense. So this might be critical hit. Okay, fair enough. Still probably would have taken it out. Maybe with 2 hits, not with 1 hit. Bear tick. Very much don't expect you to survive this. You do need to actually get hit twice. I feel the need to reiterate the fact that The stab, double hitting gear grind, only needed one hit, is about power. It's not about power, it's exactly the power of a hyper beam without stab. It's 150 power. And I am grossly physically offensive. Like, my physical attack stat is really, really high. And I love that. So, there we go. We have 7 badges. And we're going to keep it there. Because there's no meaningful progress we can make anymore at this point. There's story progress, but who cares about that? We got 7 badges in. Next week, we'll be doing the new community run over at twitch.tv/vloggergames rather than one of these YouTube streams. I'm going to, at least for a month or two, maybe we'll do it long term, switch over to Twitch for the community run streaming due to a variety of factors that I mentioned earlier in the stream, mostly because it's hurting, I think, at least, it's hurting the overall channel analytics to do the streaming on the YouTube channel. And I want to just see how much it's holding things back potentially. So I will see you all next week on twitch.tv/vloggergames. There will be a notification in the Discord when I go live with Twitch linked there instead of a YouTube link for the first time. But you can also follow me on Twitch. I think it's probably in the description of videos sometimes. Maybe not anymore. I don't know. I'll see you all next time over on Twitch. It's been a good stream. It's been a real good stream. We beat 3 gyms. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of good talk. I went into this very tired and not thinking that it was going to be a very interesting and fun stream. I had a lot of fun.